Hello, this is Sir Randall. Today I'm working on a project that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I'm going to do two things here. One is to organize my gaming setup, and two is to clean up the room. For the last year, I haven't had a chance to really clean up my room due to medical issues. Now that is somewhat under control, we can do an awesome project. As you can see, I do have somewhat organized. One side is PlayStation, the other is Nintendo and PC. In the middle, I have most of my consoles. They are dusty, and well, we really need to clean that up too. On top is where my Switch is. That will be going on the wall as well. I got the idea when I 3D printed my VR headset. I was like, hey, I can do this for everything else. So with that, let's go to Thingiverse and see what they have for us. Looking on Thingiverse, I see there's a couple of wall mount stuff. Pretty much everything I have, someone has made a wall mount for it. Let's take a look at some of the pictures here, see if this is exactly what I want, and it is. Cool. This will work perfect for what I need. Let's take a look at some of the other things. Let's see. That looks good? Yeah, this will work perfect. The PS3 doesn't have any pictures, but this looks perfect for what I need it to do. And the Wii U wall mounting system? Yeah, I'm probably not going to use all of it because I have other plans, but I am definitely going to use the wall mount for it. I think that will work perfect for me. Now this means 3D printing montage. Here are some of my parts. Look all ready and set to go. I have some anchors here, they're drawaway anchors, and I have some Gorilla Tape, which we're going to use. So let's see how this turns out. So apparently, I didn't imprint this right. It's very brittle, like very brittle. I just move it, just barely. It'll break. So, back to the drawing board. Okay, so another issue with the tape. I haven't really done all the consoles with the brick mounting screws yet. This one's a little loose and it's not level, and I know that there's some OCD people out there. But we'll get to that later. We will remount it. Brick behind here, so we're going to have to use the brick drilling bit. The tape says it holds 24 pounds, but it just doesn't work that well. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll come back to this later. Just some issues. Okay, so this print I got from Thingiverse had this where you can rest the, even has, I sanded it down because it had some lines and stuff. I was just gonna test it out before sanding it out. I wasn't too sure about this, but if you look, it slides right on, right? But it is really flimsy. Hold on. Even has like a thing here in the back to, you know, route your cable, but hold on. Well, it did sit. There it goes. But I don't really trust it. It's really, really like, yeah. So we're just gonna print another. We're gonna print another mount just for that. I'd feel more safe with that. Yeah, screw that. But the mount for itself is nice. But we're gonna put another mount just for the Wii U. We'll probably put it up there. So I woke up this morning and the Wii U has fell to the ground. I don't know what went wrong. I have a few ideas. I think it's the tape, and the tape was the bad idea. The Gorilla mounting tape, or the pad, whatever you want to call it. It has failed. I couldn't drill into the wall because of the brick, but talking to the landlord, I can drill into it, again, as long as I patch it up. So, the good thing is it didn't leave any residue or didn't pull off the paint, so we're going to have to use the drilling from now on. I purchased a drilling bit to drill into the wall. So, I think that'll be a much better thing, and I'm going to do all the consoles that way. But let's see what it looks like. Let's see, I'll show you exactly why it failed. When I glued this together, I glued it upside down. I didn't have it level, so it has a slight bend to it, as you can see. And I didn't do that right. So when I taped it against the wall, I kind of just pushed it up. And what happened is that the tape turned and it pulled it off the wall. It's not the tape's fault, but again, this is my consoles. I need to really make sure that they don't fall off. So, don't use this. Don't use this. For the controllers, maybe, yes. But for the consoles, no. Use some anchor screws for that. Time to reprint this and make sure it's level this time. Testing the Wii U, I plugged it in and make sure everything's working fine. I tested the hard drive and the optical drive. They work fine. Thank God for that. So no damage there. Everything works fine. The gamepad, it looks fine. I think we're okay. Thank God for that. We got really lucky. So testing the Wii U, it turned out fine. So now we're going to check for scratches. I don't see any scratches on here. There's some smudge prints, but everything turned out just fine. So thankfully, there's that. Everything turned out great. And I think what happened is that when it fell off the wall, the cable stopped it from slamming onto the ground, which thankfully, I'm glad for that. So we got extremely lucky here. Okay, so I got everything perfectly level. I had to use the drilling screws. I didn't film it because my stupid ass didn't do it right. So, there's that. But I learned something. You can't use the tape for the consoles. And we've done that before. So, after redoing everything and screwing it in and not using this, I got perfect level out of it. So, the OCD people should be happy about that. I made sure to take care of the leveling procedures because I wanted to make it look right. So, these are the anchor screws that I used. And you can excuse my thumb. Sorry about that. But yeah, they work really well. And I'm glad. And they're really, really stable. So I don't have to worry about it. Using these is just the better way to go. So use drywall or brick mounting screws, depending on what you're at. They are the best. So yeah, I'm glad that turned out to be level. We are good here. I'm really, really happy about that. Wii U mounting, it's pretty damn level. So we are good here too. Thank God we got a level. Now I don't have to worry about people saying it's not level. Well, it is. Sorry guys. As you can see, everything is good. Everything's lined up, everything is level. Some of the controllers shifted, the tape must have settled, but that's okay. I'm gonna redo this later. I have some more consoles I wanna add to the wall. I'll probably redo the controllers. That I'm gonna have to redo. but I need like something to hold the wires. But my desk is so much cleaner. And I'm really happy for that. No more dust, everything is good. Still need to redo the floor, need to sand that and polish it. But other than that, desk is looking good. So, yeah. Last thoughts. I should have used a level in the beginning. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Because of that, I had to remount some things. Using a level at the start would have saved me a lot of time. The project took about a month to do. Most of that time was 3D printing the wall mounts. Some parts took like 20 hours or longer to print. The time-lapse makes it look like it printed in no time flat. I will also include the Thingiverse links in the description below for all the mounts I used for this project. You may have noticed that some parts were printed in white. I had to sand them down and painted them black. I didn't record that process and I should have. This is my first time with the camera and not with just a video screen or video game capture, so I have some learning to do there. I would also do better camera work in the future. Again, this is a learning curve. I should have known better about the mounting strips, even though they said they hold 24 pounds. Funny thing is, you might have noticed that some of the later shots showed it only held 7 pounds. I looked online and I could only see 7-pound ones. Not sure if they failed and they reduced the load, or they just stopped making that. They do make some mounting tapes that do 30 and 60 pounds. I might look into that later for another project. But I would do some serious testing, which I will include in that video. But I do recommend using drywall or brick anchor mounting screws depending on the place you live at. I would recommend using the mounting strips only for the controllers. I've had them up for a week now, and they seem to be holding well. If you do decide to do this project, I can't express how important it is to use a stud finder with an electrical wall finder, and how important it is to know what's behind the wall. Knowing what's behind the wall before drilling is extremely important. Even though there was brick behind my drywall, I still used the electrical finder to make sure there was no electrical wires behind the wall. Drilling into the wall and not knowing what's behind it could cause some serious injury or death, and could possibly cost a lot of money to repair. They would have to take the drywall off, repair the wire or plumbing, and put it back up, and this could cost a lot of money. Things I would have done differently. Well, I would have not used the mounting strips for the consoles again, duh. I would also use the ruler to make sure that the controllers were vertically and horizontally aligned. The consoles are perfectly aligned, but the controllers I just eyeballed. I should have drawn out a layout or used a CAD program to make sure how I wanted it instead of just doing it in my head. I think in the future, when I redo some consoles and put more up, I am definitely going to make a layout. I think this project turned out really well. I like it even though in hindsight I would have done some things differently, but oh well, that's what it is. Anyway, that is all for this video. Please let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.